Now you know the formula of trapezium. What it is? Half into sum of parallel sides into perpendicular distance. Sum of parallel sides is OA plus BC and the perpendicular distance is OC. So we write this formula and we will substitute the values of OA, BC and OC, right? Here OA is how much? It is U. That is, it is starting from U meters per second. That is the initial velocity. And what is the final velocity? It is V meters per second, right? That is BC. And what is distance OC? Time T seconds, right? When we substitute all this information in this equation, let's start solving example 8.5. A train starting from rest attains a velocity of 72 km per hour in 5 minutes. Assuming that the acceleration is uniform. Find the acceleration and the distance travelled by the train for attaining this velocity. एक ट्रेन स्टार्ट होती है 0 से, स्पीड उसकी बढ़ते जाती है 72 किलोमीटर तक, उसकी स्पीड बढ़ती है 5 मिनट में. ठीक है. You have to assume here that the acceleration is uniform, right? And we have to find acceleration and the distance. So how will we solve this? First, whatever information is given, we'll write it down. Okay. Here U is the initial velocity 0, since it is starting from 0 kilometers per hour, and final velocity is V. Final velocity is how much? 72 kilometers per hour, right? That you have to convert this kilometers per hour into meters per second, right? So this will be equal to 20 meters per second. How we got this 20 meters per second? The conversion factor is 5 by 18. That is, when the unit is given in kilometers per hour, you have to multiply by 5 by 18. I will show the calculation over here. Okay. How we got this 20 meters per second? 72 kilometers per hour is given, multiply by 5 by 18. If you solve this, you will get 18 4s are 72 and 5 4s are 20. So you get the answer as 20. So it is converted to meters per second, right? Now the time is given in minutes. 5 minutes it is given, right? So we have to convert it into seconds. So what we will do? We will multiply 60. You know 1 minute is 60 seconds. So multiply by 60. So it will become 300 seconds. Right? Now we know the formula. What is the formula for acceleration? First they have asked, you have to find the acceleration. So A is equal to V minus U divided by T. Why we are using this formula? Because final velocity is given, initial velocity is given. So you will get the acceleration. Right? You know, to get acceleration there are 3 formulas. Right? 2AS is equal to V square minus U square. Second one is S is equal to UT plus half AT square. Right? You can rearrange that formula and you can get the formula of acceleration. So now we will put the values. What is V? Final velocity is 20 meters per second. What we have converted, we have to use that. Minus U is 0. Divided by time T seconds is 300. And if you solve this, right, what you will get? 20 by 300. And if you cut to its lowest form, it will become 20 ones are and 15 20s are 300. So the answer is 1 by 15 meters per second. This is the acceleration which we got. Now we will solve the second part of the question. This is the first part of the question. Now second part of the question is the distance traveled by the train for attaining this velocity. So we will use formula 2as is equal to v square minus u square, right? Now we will rearrange this formula to find the distance. Distance is s. S equal to v square minus u square divided by 2 into a, right? This is the formula. Here u is 0, initially 0, so you will modify the formula as v square divided by 2a. Now we will put the values of v. The final velocity we calculated it as 20 meters per second. So 20 whole square divided by 2 into acceleration. Acceleration we got as 1 by 15, right? So 2 into bracket 1 by 15. So 20 square you have to write as 20 into 20, and this 15 will go up, right? And this 2 will remain down. 2 ones are 2. So when we cut 2 tens are 20, and 20 into 10 is 200, and 15 into 200 is 3000 meters. Now we have to convert this meters into kilometers. You know that 100 meters make 1 kilometer. So 3000 meters will make how many kilometers? Right? What we will do? We will divide 3000 by 1000. So we will get the answer as 3 kilometers. Right? Write down the summary. The acceleration of the train is 1 by 15 meters per second, and the distance traveled by the train is how many kilometers? 3 kilometers, right? Now I hope you have understood that formulas which we had derived. We get S is equal to U plus V, right, into T. OC is T. All values we are substituting. Divide by 2. Right. This is one equation which is found. And now from velocity time graph we will get T is equal to V minus U divided by A. You remember that equation? Let me show you. It is this equation. S equal to ut plus half at square. Right? We are rearranging this equation. Okay? Let me explain this by writing so that it will be easy for you to understand. Okay? Now you know that formula 8.6. What it says? It says that S is equal to ut plus half at square. Right? S is what? Distance. You have to find out distance, and what is given? Initial velocity, time is given, and acceleration and time is given, right? So we derive this formula. S is equal to U initial velocity plus final velocity divided by 2 into bracket time, right? We derive this formula on substituting OA is equal to U, BC is equal to V, and OC is equal to T, right? So now when we solve this equation, how will we solve? Here this will become ut plus half at square equal to U plus V into bracket T divided by 2. Okay. So now here you can see ut plus half at square is there. So we will multiply 2 into ut plus half at square. Okay. So this 1 will remain as it is and this half will be given to both of them. Okay. This will be same as, now what we will do, we will open the bracket ut plus vt divided by 2. Now this 2 and this 2 will get cancelled. So now what will remain? 2ut, and this is also ut, so bring it on this side, so minus it will become, and this will become equal to vt will remain as it is, and this at square, 1 into at square is 1, so this plus will become minus at square, right? Now what we will do, we will keep ut as it is and take this 2 down. Okay. So now this will become equal to vt minus at square. Okay. Now remove the t common. Okay. This will become v minus at, right? Now this t and this t will get cancelled. So what will remain? U. Now this will become t is equal to v minus u, right? T will go there and u will come here. So v minus u divided by a. Understood? This is the formula for that time. Okay. Now using this equation, s is equal to u plus v into bracket t divided by 2, and using this equation t is equal to v minus u by a, we will get equation s is equal to v plus u into bracket v minus u divided by 2a, or this can be written as this 2a, take it up, so this can be written as 2as equal to v square minus u square, right? So we have derived the equation for position velocity, right? Now let's learn about uniform circular motion. Okay. Now you see this all shapes. This is the shape of a rectangle. This is a hexagonal shape. This is octagonal. Right. You assume this is a running track. Right. So the runner will start from point D. He will run along this track and complete its lap. One lap at point D. Right. So now you know that when the runner will run, he will run at the full speed over here, and at the turn the speed he will reduce, right? At here also there is a turn, so he will reduce the speed. So how many times he reduces the speed? 4 times. And in this case, how many times he will reduce? He will reduce it 6 times. And in this case he will reduce it 8 times, right? Now in this case circular, he will not reduce the speed, he will run at a continuous speed, uniform speed, right? Because there are no turns, he will run at a fixed speed, right? That will not change. You can call it uniform speed. Okay. Now the motion of that athlete who is running along the circular path is called an accelerated motion. Now, you know this is a circle. So what is the circumference? Circumference of a circle is 2 pi r, right? Okay. Pi value is it is 22 by 7, right? Now if the athlete takes t seconds to go once. That means if he starts from here and he completes one revolution, okay, one time he runs, so the velocity will be given by this 2 pi r. He runs along the circumference, so it is 2 pi r divided by time t, right? Now when you know that the athlete will run with the uniform speed, okay, since it is a circle, so the motion is also called uniform circular motion. Understood? Now let's read one activity, and you can try it at outside, not at home. Okay, what you have to do, you take a string, at one end of the string tie a small stone, okay, and stand in the center of any playground and hold this string like this and start moving it in a circular direction, right? After some time, what you do, you release the string, so this stone will go and fall down at some far off place, right? It will not fall just below the person who is revolving the string, right? Do this many times, right? And let's see where the position of that stone is. Okay, we will come to know that the position of the stone will be tangential to this revolution path which it had been revolving. Okay, now what do you come to know? That the stone moves along the straight line which was tangential to the circular path, and it continues to move along the direction in which it was moving, right? If it is moved in clockwise direction, it will go clockwise in the direction tangent to this circular path. This shows that the direction of motion changed at every point when the stone was moving along the circular path. Now you know discus. Discus is a disc-like, plate-like thing which has thin edges and which is thick at the center, right? In sports you must have seen. It is called a discus throw. What that person does, the person will stand in one circle. Suppose a circle is made over here on the ground. The person will stand at the center. He will hold that disc in his hand, okay, and he will move his body. Okay, he will rotate his body and then he will leave that discus and it will go far away and fall, right? If you see Olympics, you will come to know. So what will happen? It will just move like the piece of stone which we did in this activity, right? So in live examples also we have seen such type of movement. One I explained you, one which was the athlete, right, using that discus, and second one is the example of satellite which moves around a circular path around the earth. Okay, the third one is the moon which is revolving around the earth, right? Now let's summarize what we have learnt up till now. What is motion? Motion is the change of position, or it can be described in terms of the distance moved or the displacement, right? The distance it moves, any object or any vehicle, okay, or the displacement, right? Both are the different terms, right? Motion of an object could be uniform or non-uniform depending on whether its velocity is constant or changing. Here, the example of the train which is entering the station, Okay, it is standing there about 15 minutes, which we saw that example, and then again it is starting its journey, right? So the velocity is changing. It slows down, it comes to 0, and again from 0 it starts. Second example is when you move the vehicle and speed breaker comes in between, so you reduce the speed. Now the speed of an object is the distance covered per unit time, and velocity is displacement per unit time. So what is speed? Whatever distance we cover, like we take a cycle and we go to school from our house, so that distance is fixed, but the time can change, right? कभी थक गए तो हम लोग स्लो चलाएंगे तो लेट पहुंचेंगे, right? So the time will be different. So the velocity will also change. The acceleration of an object is the change in velocity per unit time, right? Now what is acceleration? Whatever changes are there in the velocity per unit time, it is called acceleration. Uniform and non-uniform motions of objects can be shown through graphs, right? Which we saw graphs. See, this graph, this is an object, right, which is moving with uniform speed, so it is a straight line, right? This car is moving at non-uniform speed, right? The speed is increasing, right? And then we learned formulas which are very important. V is equal to U plus half AT. Sorry, it's just AT. The second formula is S equal to UT plus half AT square. And the third formula is 2A into S is equal to V square minus U square, where V is final velocity, U is initial velocity, A is acceleration, T is time, and S is the distance, right? You have to remember these formulas. It will help you to solve the further exercises, okay? And the last one, we saw the uniform circular motion. An object moves in a circular path with uniform speed. Its motion is called uniform circular motion, right? It is moving with the continuous speed. So it is called uniform circular motion. Now let's solve the exercises, right? Now let's solve the first problem. An athlete completes one round of a circular track of diameter 200 meters in 40 seconds. What is the displacement traveled? What is the distance traveled and the displacement at the end of 2 minutes and 20 seconds? Whatever information is given, you write it down first. What is given? The diameter of the track is 200 meters. And now calculate the circumference. What is the formula of circumference? It is pi into d, right? So you can write down 200 pi directly. You can use 3.14 or you can write 22 by 7 into 200. You can use any, right? Now distance which is covered in 40 seconds. The distance covered is what? The distance which he ran in 40 seconds. It was how much? It was the circumference of that track. So what is the circumference of the track? Pi into d, right? Diameter is 200 meters. So now we will calculate the distance covered in 1 second. It will be how much? Pi into pi, right? You will divide this circumference divided by the time. So you will get this distance covered in 1 second. Now the distance covered in 2 minutes and 20 seconds is asked. So now convert this 2 minutes 20 seconds into 140. You have to convert that into seconds. So it is 140 seconds. Now for 1 second it takes 5 into pi distance. So now in 140 seconds how much? So what we'll do, directly we'll multiply this into 140, and when we solve we will get how much distance? 2200 meters distance, which was travelled in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Now, number of laps completed by that athlete in 140 seconds will be how much? 140 divided by 40, because he completes that total distance in 40 seconds. Okay, so when we divide we will get 3.5 laps, right? 3.5 laps means what? This is that circular track. He will start from this position, he will complete 1 lap from where he started. This is 1 lap, this is 2nd lap, and this is the 3rd lap. Understood? This is called lap. Now the final position of the athlete with respect to the initial position. This is the initial position, and what is the final position? It will be on the opposite side of the track. It will be over here. Why? He completed 3.5 laps. 1 lap, 2 lap, 3 lap, and 3.5 laps. So it is exactly on the opposite side, right? Now you write down the summary, right? The net distance covered by the athlete is 2200 meters, and the total displacement of the athlete is 200 meters, right? That means, what is the displacement? If you remember, I told you the starting point and the end point, how much distance is covered, that is called displacement. Okay, now let's solve the third sum. Abdul, while driving to school, computes the average speed for his trip to be 20 kilometers per hour. On his return journey along the same route, he goes to school, okay, on the same road. He comes back. So, when he goes to school, his speed is 20 kilometers per hour, right? And on the same road, there is less traffic. So, the speed is more, it is 30 kilometers per hour. So what we have to calculate, what is the average speed for Abdul's trip? While going it is 20 kilometers, while coming it is 30 kilometers, right? Now what will we write? We will write the information which is given first. The distance will be the same, right? Because he is taking the same route. So you can call that as D. And the time taken to reach school with this speed 20 kilometers per hour, it takes time T1, you can say, right? And on returning home you can call that as T2 time, right? So now what is the average speed? You know the formula. For speed it is distance divided by the total time taken, right? So while going home, what will be the speed? D divided by T2, right? Because the time taken to reach home is T2. Now when he goes to school, the speed is the distance travelled is D and the time taken is T1, and that is equal to 20 kilometers per hour, right? So this will be D divided by T1. So this will be D divided by T1 is equal to 20 kilometers per hour, right? Because while going to school, the speed is slow, right? So the average speed for the entire trip means while going to school and while coming back, total trip is called, is given by what formula? For speed, distance travelled divided by total time taken. So what is the distance travelled? D plus D, right? Because it is in the same route, and total time is T1 plus T2, right? So now we will replace T1 as d by 20, right? Here distance traveled divided by time was 20 kilometers per hour. So now we want to find T1. Okay, so this will be d by 20. You understood this? Why we are substituting T as d by 20? Because on the numerator here there is d. So it will be easy for calculation. So we are substituting d in place of T1, right? And T2 is d by 30. Now if we solve this, we take LCM. LCM comes out to 60. Okay. So 20 3s are 60. So 3 into d is 3d. And same here 30 into 2 is 60. And 2 into d is 2d. Right. And when we solve this, we will get the average speed is equal to 24 kilometers per hour. Okay.